Welcome to the full moon meditation. Gemini, full moon, Sagittarius, solar sun, 2024 as we get ready for 2025 and all that's coming with that. And a lot of battening down the hatches from a spiritual perspective is important to remember right now, and to work with these energies that are very big movings, and so much that's not being said, so much that is being said, and we learn in meditation to watch our thoughts, right? They're just another clown car going by, and then the trombone players come next, right? And it's a little like that very circusy energy, and very important, just like when we are meditating, to watch our own thoughts go by. In the same way, we learn to watch thoughts or events go by in that same way, that you become the witness, the sentry angel, that pure consciousness that holds for the highest good no matter what. And so that's our job right now. And when we meditate, we're practicing building that muscle, because things are triggering, right? Something will happen, you'll hear something, you'll see something, you'll think something, right? And get triggered, and you're all in, right? We're all in. And it's sort of what I wanted to talk about as at least to begin our full moon meditation. I wanted to bring in a thought. And that is that the point of view and the energy that we are holding something in is what it then will be, for in our experience. Only in our experience, maybe, or in a group experience it can be, but it also can just be our own. And it's very important to become aware of how you're thinking, how you're holding things. Because how you're thinking and how you're holding things creates a filter by which everything is flowing through. And it reminded me of crystals, right? So the crystal, this is a beautiful citrine, and it's got facets, all these facets in it. Right? And if you hit it in the light, it would make rays of light that would shine off of it, just so. And this prism is like our consciousness. And so let's say we think, oh, nothing matters, it's all doesn't make any difference what I do or anything anyway. That's a filter, right? It becomes like a gel, right, you put in front of the light that makes it orange, that makes it red, that makes it blue. And when we become aware that we are creating our reality by the filters that we're putting on, or that we choose, that we're believing in, let's call them little beliefs, right? It changes the light as it moves through this, and it distorts it somewhat. And so that clarified awareness, right, that clear thinking, clear seeing, which is so Gemini Sag, right, that combination of mutable signs, right, they move fast. They're both fast. One's air, one's fire. So Gemini full moon, thinking, how we speak, communications, all the things in the way we interact with each other are very, very fast. And in the full moon chart, which I'll just show you we have, I'm not going to talk a lot about this chart. I just want to just at least mention, though, just sort of the energy. Here's the sun and moon opposition in Gemini full moon. Sun is exactly 2352. Oppose that, and it makes a T-square with Neptune. So, and also, of course, we have Mars opposing Venus and Pluto. And Long could say a lot about that. But what I'm going with the moon energy more right now, just to work with what we're working with, is vision. Neptune, right? The vision of things, holding your vision clear. If this was in your third eye, which there is something very like this in your third eye, right? That's very gradually moving, very subtly moving and alive. It's within the pineal gland, the center, like the heart chakra isn't at the heart, it's actually here, but it's connected to the heart, just like the third eye is connected to the pineal. So all these things are interactive, and it's very important to keep your vision clear when there's a lot of information out there, and to be careful and mindful of what filters might we be putting up that, fear, obviously, that's an easy one to imagine, but it also can be a hate, attack, right? All the different feelings that we have of things that are in the air right now, which are very in the air. You can see it in the traffic so clearly. You know how upset driving is for a lot of people. So just as a simple everyday example, you can look at that. So what I'm going to encourage you to do tonight when we do go into the meditation is to really think about that clarity. And the thing I was saying the other day to somebody was like, it's like I saw this little tiny light in the dirt, right? This is dirt. And there was just this little point of light there. And I went, ooh, what is that light, that little light? And I brush it off a little bit and I go, ooh, it's a light, it's something more. And then pretty soon, if you really dig it out, then it's this consciousness, right? That we are this consciousness. And when we're buried completely, you could think you don't have consciousness or soul. But it's there, and it just might be this tiny glimmer in there that you can maybe catch a glimmer of out of the corner of your eye. But if you just dust it off a little, like an archaeological dig, you get your little duster out, right? And you pull this beautiful awareness, your unique awareness that makes a difference in our world, on our planet. And the clearer your consciousness, the more clarified your consciousness, the more you can be of assistance, the more of a filter that's over it, the more there's distortion and less help. It's not bad or good, really. It just is, right? And so it's better if you can, not even better, we aspire, right, to clear the consciousnesses of the various fields of fears that can be there. What's going to happen to me? What about my money? What about my, medical insurance? What about, there's a lot of those kinds of things right now out in the world, really, really a lot. But you have to remember, we're all in this together anyway. It's important, right, to keep your hopes up and your vision high, not low. And it's easy to get caught up with what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that. And because it is, there's a lot of manipulation going on. I mean, that's the simplest way to say it, of making fear, because fear makes you keep watching, right? And if we keep watching, then we're like on the end of a dragon's tail getting taken on a ride, right? And it is like a circus in a way at times. And so it's very easy, by creating fear and creating uncertainty and division, to manipulate people and to keep them in a certain state. So it's really important. The point is, you know all this, I don't need to even say it, but it's important to remember that that is happening. And while that's happening, what can I do, right? Meditate, keep your own clarity, keep holding up no matter what. All those things we talk about in all my classes, and my full moons and my new moons. All these things are so, so, so important, more than you know, more than you know. So it makes a difference if you're in England, or you're in Japan, or you're in Sherman Oaks, or you're in Taos, or wherever you are around the world. Your consciousness is affecting the world. All of ours. Just like messy consciousness also affects the world, right? Confusion, anger, rage, all these also create vibrations that go through the field. But love conquers all. Love is a very high vibration. It is, not the highest, but it's one of the highest vibrations. And it's the most, in a way, universal that we can all relate to. Because if you could stay in joy, that would be even better. But that's hard to do when stuff is happening, right? But you can stay in heart, let's call it, capital H, heart. You can stay in heart. You can stay in love, being awareness and loving, witnessing and loving presence, and then feel and be aware of what you're being called to. Stand over here. Don't stand over here. Whatever it is, that gentle kind of inner guidance that says, speak something, don't speak something. All that awareness of being mindful that we can use in real life, which we've been using in our real life all this time, except that there's this great big current right now that's not like it's been for a long time. But have we been here before? Yep. Here we go again. And so here comes consciousness and all conscious souls on the planet, all hands on deck, right? To keep holding the center and holding the field and holding for us all, for a healed world. And all this stuff, I've been talking about this in all my classes, that we can't partly heal something, otherwise it's not really healed. So all of this stuff that's happening is material coming up for healing. And if you look at it like that, you won't need to be afraid of it as much or judge it, right? Or make it right or wrong and all of that. You just start to heal. But you start to send light. You start to help as we're able. And all of us are in different places and in different ways we can heal and help. And it might be to help the animals in your neighborhood, and it might be to help with food production, and it might be to become a point of stillness and silence in our world, to hold for the world. Whatever it is, you'll know. And it's not like you have to go sign up and, and get a job or do something activist unless you're called to that. Because one of the 7 spiritual paths is warrior. So some are warriors, right? And there's many other paths, though. And so what you're called to is what you're to do. So what I wanted to do inside the meditation is to work with the idea of that crystalline quality of awareness and clearing that crystal and using that to kind of clarify our own field so that we can be of greater service. So simple like that. Not simple. Simple in theory, hard to do, but simple in theory. It's just taking this out of the dirt, And the dirt are the filters. The dirt is the depression. The dirt is overwhelm. The dirt is confusion, right? The dirt is fear, right? Whatever it is, it's just energy. And you're just clearing the energy. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to them? What's going to happen to that country? Our country, the other's country, all this stuff that's happening. It's just amazing. So we were born for these times, and you have to remember that we've been working out for a long time, and it's just a continuum of a healing that has long time coming, that needs to happen in order that we move into the age of Aquarius, in order that we move into that bigger one life that we are moving towards, there's no doubt. But sometimes there's pitfalls along the path that'll trip you up a bit, but all the more reason. I wanted to read a quote that I have. Hold on one second. Let me just see if I can find it here. So it's just, so the lens we are looking through filters the lens, meaning the point of view, the perspective, the psychological perspective or the spiritual perspective, the energy perspective. The lens we are looking through, the lens that is the filter, we are looking through filters our perspective and experience. So that's what we're cleaning that off, right? And this is the full moon I'm calling of inspired vision. The full moon of inspired vision. And I wrote this, inspired vision, spiritual vision. First I wrote spiritual vision, and then inspired vision and realization that lead eventually to inspired action in right timing. Right? To say the words, to you stand or stand back, whatever it is, right? In spiritual vision, this is this full moon energy, inspired vision and realization that lead eventually, and I think that was the important word in this. It's not just like now you're going to do something. It's eventually to inspired action in right timing. So that's a formula, if you can feel that one, right? So that's what we're working on, to be at the right place at the right time. Because a friend might need you, right? To just hold their hand or say it's going to be okay, or, or whatever that might be, that action, which is kindness mostly, but sometimes strength and whatever. Everything is needed right now. And you will know, because when you're connected in your meditation practice, your intuition increases, your timing gets more right on, because intuition and timing are together, right? And when we're not in our intuition, then we're in our thinking, and thinking and logic don't make right timing necessarily at all. There's that saying, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans, right? So you've got this great big, 5-year list and a 15-year goals and all that stuff, and all those things can change, will change. It's creative, right? This is a creative experience. So that's what I want you to think of. So there's within the heart of the head, there is a structure kind of like this. It's not this, but it's that idea, right, of a lighted room, they call it, a lighted awareness, a living presence that when this body is gone, this still is. So we pick up where we left off in life and death. We pick up where we left off. Your next spiritual step is always right in front of you, and it doesn't change until that step is taken. From day to day in a life, from lifetime to lifetime. We pick up right where we left off in consciousness. And so we take this with us, in a sense, the symbol of that, of what I'm saying, of our living awareness. So it's nice to think of, And there's no rush, and there's no grade to get, and there's no, hurry up and do it or anything. However, if you're meditating, you're ready, or you wouldn't be here, right? This is your time to take your next step. And so what might it be? What is, you can feel, kind of sense what that might be. And it's not anything of what the ego would think. Right? The ego wants to develop good skill sets, like I want to learn how to speak another language, or and all that stuff. And those are wonderful things, and wonderful educations and learnings. But the spiritual steps subtler than that. And as you work inside meditation practice more, you start to be able to really sense what it is. And it becomes sort of thematic because, of course, our next spiritual step is everywhere we look. It's everywhere we look. So we can go from one relationship to another relationship, and there it is again, right? Or one job to another job, and there it is again. One country to another country, and there it is again. Because our spiritual next step is the same. So when I used to live in England, I laughed. When I came back, I told everybody my takeaway was, you take yourself with you. Right? So you go to some other place, it's going to be different. No. We just get new characters to play the roles, and we find it all again, and we remake it, and this is how it goes. And there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm not saying that making teasing either. That's just how it is. That's how it works. And so that next step is we're meant to take whenever we do, and it comes from that clarity of awareness, that you want it to catch light, right? The light shining through this makes blue, green, violet, right? It comes shining out of the facets of the essential self that is sacred. So on that note, we shall do our meditation. I pulled this card from the Soul Trees deck, and it's not a tree in this case. It's a vortex. And it says, natural rhythm. So I'll just put that in there too. Natural rhythm, natural rhythms, right? I'll light our candle. You can light a candle too if you want. I'll just use mine as yours. And always the best is to light that inner light within the center of the heart of the head. If there's practices developed where open-eyed practices, right, where you just look into the light, look into the flame, look into the crystal. It's open-eyed practice. And you can do a closed eyes practice is more commonly done, has different effects a little bit, right? Everything, any change in meditation when we do a mudra, a shape like this, or lock in the legs, or all the different shapes that happen and concentrations that we use in meditation have different results. Sounds, chants, right? Mudras, mantras, all turn and like a kaleidoscope, right? Change the field. And so always working with that energy, remembering that the point though is to come back to essence, clarified self, self-realized. And self-realization is simply realizing the self as you are, right? And that's what allows, if we're as we are, we can then take our next step. When we don't accept where we are, we're afraid to take the next step because better the devil you know. You know, it's hard to take that next step when you're insecure, right? Or you don't feel worthy, or all the things that happen, right? So, essential self. So I've got this next to my candle, the crystal. So when you're ready to close your eyes, and we'll just enter that field of love, that field of light and love. And you meet yourself again here. The Sabian symbol for 24 Gemini is children skating on ice. And I wrote down 2 words with that: innocence, play, and trust. Because the ice is ice, right? So that playful, though, it's children. They don't mind falling. They're closer to the ground, you know. Children skating on ice. And the Sabian symbol for the sun degree, which is the opposite degree, 24, Sagittarius. I don't have it in front of me, but it's like this: a bluebird standing at the threshold of your front door, right? And I wrote down, my notes to that was, hello. It's at your front door, at the threshold of your front door. Right, so it's hello, see me. And the message to me about that is hope, kind of bluebird of happiness, right? Even no matter what's happening, right? That bluebird of things could be different than we think. Oh, that's really true. That's really true. So in our world of Maya, right, the illusions, what's not an illusion is this consciousness of self and this group consciousness that we make together. And just using your breath to take yourself in now, and I'll use the counting in meditation to start us off. Every word I say, these archetypal words that represent everything, feel each word take you deeper into the meditation. Star, sky, earth, ocean, land, mountain, tree, place, all beings, self, soul, Om. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Om. Star, deeper still. Sky, earth, deeper. Ocean, land, mountain, tree, all beings, soul, self, Om. And as you enter the space in the heart of the head center, breathing here gently through the head center, remaining heart connected to all of us, all beings, all conscious souls, and just sense all the lighthouses around the planet that are meditating now. Heart to heart, light to light. And at the center of that light, within the heart of the head, directly connected to soul and all the masters, angels, teachers, wise ones that are in form and not in form. Feel that essential self, symbolic crystal light of you within the heart of the head that is subtly, subtly moving, flashing facets of light. And notice if it needs any attention from you. Cleaning off the sides, the tip, whatever need be. Polishing the surfaces, clarifying your light. And from within the center of that crystal is a white light, like a sun. And it shines in a 360-degree radiance in every direction. Inside the center of the heart of the head in the cave center. And as you're aware of this, you can feel the overlighting presence of the soul. Light to light. And light to light. Feel this intelligence of little, minuscule realignments, little corrections, little turns that move all the way into the DNA for health and physical reasons, all the way through the heart, for psychological and emotional reasons and healings. Into the mind. Little clarifications and corrections of thought that leave you free, that leave you open, that let light shine through the vehicle of the self. And as you breathe through that heart center crystal, just feel your whole self lit up from within, and correspondingly the soul shines with you. And you allow that light to expand. And say this phrase inside your mind's eye. As we move into the silence, I see, I realize, I remember, I know. I'm going to add another word. I connect. I see. I realize. I remember. I know. Into the silence now. Through that light within the heart of the head. I see. I realize. I remember. I know. Which one of these phrases lights up, or do they all equally? I connect. I see. I realize. I remember. I know. I am meditating. There's information in that. There is initiation in that. Potentially. Let yourself receive this light to light to light. And let it move through your consciousness, your awareness, through the bodies. From the monad to the physical. On every level. Letting yourself, capital S, organize this into usable consciousness in the life. By thought, by word, by deed, by heart, and that radiance of light from the center becoming greater and greater, shining outwardly to anything you think of, anything you're aware of on the planet, situations, people, conditions. Letting that light move just naturally to those places in faithfulness, in light, in remembering, in hope, in clarity, in peace. Om, peace, Om, peace, Om, peace. And then gently let the breath get deeper and fuller. Until it starts to feel natural to in your own timing. Beginning to transition out of this meditation when you're ready to. Thank you. Exact time for the full moon is tonight at 1:01 a.m. or tomorrow. Mercury goes direct tomorrow. And the solstice is coming December 20th at 7:30. That's a sign up. It's a really powerful winter solstice or solstice experience. Hope you can join us for that. It's really powerful, and we work with what happens in that meditation for the whole year. So that comes up on December 20th, Friday night. And I will send the full moon and new moon meditation information coming out by email because I don't have that written down. But I'm so happy you're here and so thankful for you ones that let your video be on. It's good to see you. I feel you all, whether you're on video or not, because there's a group, right, energy here. And I appreciate you for being here. And we appreciate us, right? We could say, we see, we realize, we remember, we know, we are meditating, right? Thank you, everyone. I'll see you on the next round arc before the end of the year, I hope. See you soon.